to adding the tubular grip onto the doll's head. Now this is called tubular grip or tubular bandage. It's used for putting on sprained ankles, wrists, that type of thing. It can be found in most chemists and the like. I think the size that I use is size E, and I think it's basically for a small knee injury. The size that you need is it's folded and it's 9 centimeters wide by 24-ish centimeters long. So you take your tubular grip and pop your hand through, and then pull the doll's head out through the other side. You need to make sure that you've got enough at the bottom for sewing over and enough at the top for closing. So pin that over at the top. Okay, so take your needle and thread and start. This is just a normal also sew all thread, and just start sewing and closing that top section. It's just on a slip stitch. And then when we get to this top bit, we're gonna just fold it over like a little triangle flap, bring it forward, pop a couple of pins in, and sew those two edges down. Okay, when you get to that tip, just take the needle in through the very tip of it and bring it back to the centre and give it a pull, and then you can sink that little tip bit in. And then start going back down the other side. Fasten off and sink the tail. And now you have a nicely enclosed top of your head. Okay, so with our head ball, we need now to decide where we want the front of our face to be. Now if you turn it around, you can see that it does look different from all different angles, so you just need to choose where you would like the front of the face to be. Now I think that part there of mine looks as good as any for the front of the face, and I'm going to put in 2 pins at the side, halfway down, and as you can see, I can see those 2 black pins from when I'm looking above. But when you turn it around the back, you can see that it's a lot bigger and wider at the back, and if I lay my head flat I couldn't see my black pins. So from looking down from the front, you need to be able to see the black pins. So that basically, that section in there is going to be where her face is. Now we want to contour the shape of that face downwards, so we're taking a couple of other pins, and I'm just pushing this through the tubey grip, not through the wadding, it's just through the tubey grip. That's bringing it down, heading towards the chin. And now I'm going to take an elastic band. If you haven't got an elastic band, you need to speak nicely to the postman, and place this on top of the head. Bring it in line with the pins. And now we're going to take just a handful of stuffing. It literally is just a handful of stuffing. And we're going to push this up through the neck edge of the tubey grip, up into that lower section of the face. So just keep pushing up into each side. Take the elastic band and just slip it up a couple of centimetres higher. And then take your doll needle and start pulling and pushing the stuffing up and beyond, past where that elastic band line would have been. It takes a bit of work. It's worth spending time on this section to ensure that you haven't got any lumps and bumps. So just keep prodding away, pulling and poking the stuffing around until you feel that it's correctly positioned. It's important to pay attention to those side bits so that it goes out and beyond where those 2 side pins are placed. When you run your fingers across it, you can feel if there's any lumps that you need to push out. So as I say, spend a little bit of time on this, making sure that you know, it's nice and smooth all the way around. Then take your elastic band, bring it back to that original position, so it's now gone over the stuffing. Just going to have another little bit of a prod to get rid of another little lump that I felt. So what you want is a nice transition, so it feels nice and smooth going up from the elastic band up through the forehead, so there's no sort of ridges, no lumps, no bumps that you can feel. If there are, just tweak them out and make it as smooth as you can get it. So this bit can take a little while to do, so it's just a matter of being patient and just, you know, pulling and prodding until you can get the right shape. So what you need to do is you need to look at her from all angles and just make sure that you're happy with the face shape. She should have a nice chin, a nice profile. You know, the chin should be further out from her neck edge. So that's your head ball with a tubey grip finished.